well tonight. I don't like having to talk about this is a must win, but I always told you guys, I'm gonna be honest with you and I'm gonna be honest with my team. We got a chance to finish, tied for third or fourth tonight, or we could finish eighth or ninth after the outcome tonight. That's just the reality of it. And so I wanted my guys to understand that. They did. I was really proud of the guys because they'd worked so hard the last couple weeks. We played better, but with no reward. And then you stack on top of it another good team coming in, another tough preparation. Our guys are tired. I tell you, they're tired. You look at the road that we've had, whether it be at Texas A&M and at Tennessee and at Alabama at home, and there's a lot of those are great teams, physical teams, a lot of travel, and then the short prep after the Alabama game. It was a tough couple days. So they'll get the day off. They'll get the day off tomorrow, and they've earned it. But just up and down the roster, Jalen Williams did a phenomenal job on Kobe. Kobe's a great player. They're friends. They played together, AAU ball together. They know each other well. Wendell with 9 assists and no turnovers. My centers had 23 rebounds if you add Yo. It's good to get Yo in there. Man, does he look so bouncy and athletic, and he's got a great future. But we dominated at the 5 spot, which we needed to. We won the 4 spot. I mean, we literally won every position tonight. So great win, and take tomorrow off. Get ready for Vanderbilt.
Advice?
Bruce, what's it like when you actually lay it out there like that and the team responds the way they did tonight?
Well, you know what, Tobias, even if they didn't respond, I would have understood just because they've had so much fatigue and they were disappointed. But I'm proud of the way I'm glad they responded the way they did, and I'm glad they got rewarded with some success. But it really wasn't, it really had nothing to do with my challenge. It had more to do with Ira Bowman and Mike Burgermaster putting a great game plan together. I think the culture and character of our program, our guys care about trying to make history, and we want to try to get to the NCAA tournament. But this helps, but we still got work to do, but should give us. Glad we shot the ball better. I think that got a chance to give us a little bit of confidence moving forward, hopefully.
Kurt?
Bruce is the top 5 offense in the country, and then 7 minutes in the game, it's 19-2. What was the key to getting off to such a good start on defense?
Well, we talked about, look, we hold teams 73 points or less. We're 17-1. I talked to the guys about, look, we control our destiny. Purdue scored 42 against us. They just beat, Northwestern scored 42 against us. They just beat Purdue. We just had a chance to beat the #1 team in the country in Alabama. We didn't, but we had a chance. Can we hold Missouri under 73? If we do, we're going to win the game. And so not often can you give your kids almost a guarantee. Now Missouri, obviously #3 offense in the country, can really score it, really shoot it. And they were probably affected a little bit by the big win at Tennessee and a tough turnaround. Back-to-back Tennessee, Auburn, that's a tough swing.
Mark?
Bruce, can you talk about all the production from your bench tonight?
Well, we talked about to the bench last week, and this is what we talked about. We talked about it being a collection of all of us, and we're all responsible. So we've not won, let's say the last 4 games, 4 out of 5, whatever we didn't win. I've got Wendell and KD and Al and Jalen and Janai out there at the end. But if they've had to carry us for 35 minutes, and if they can't carry us in the last 5, that's on the team. It's on me. It's on everybody. It's on the bench. Our bench has to play better so that those guys can be fresh and furious to win games at the end. I would assume today would have been a close game, and that would have been the case. So I'm glad the bench all of them, definitely stepped up and decided. I thought Trey Donaldson played with great confidence. Dylan, obviously, almost a double-double. Lior knocked out a couple shots, played great defense right around the ball. The bench was good. KD, and then KD, again, little by little, and then the watershed opened up a little bit tonight for him. When he gets a little bit more of a lift on his shot, it was interesting. Katie doesn't trust me all the time. He just doesn't. But I talked to him about it, and give Marquise Daniels some credit. Marquise is my director of player development, and he is constantly in the ears of our players, regarding their trials and tribulations and challenges, and does a phenomenal job keeping everybody together, keeping the guys together, because he was a pro, and he is a pro. But I had talked to KD a little bit about just when he shoots something. When he shot the gun this summer, the gun's got those nets all the way around. And in order to put the ball in the hole, just as far as your visuals are concerned, you almost have to feel like you got to shoot a little higher to get over the top of that net. And I told him, I said, Katie, let's get on that gun. Let's just get on that gun and let's shoot on that gun. Because his release point was up instead of out. And when he shoots it high, that's trusting it. So, but Marquise Daniels put the time in, as would do my staff with Katie, to help him come around a little bit.
Lance?
Coach, you mentioned that game for Missouri against Tennessee. That was their most efficient game offensively against a conference opponent in almost a decade. They turned around, couldn't even score 60 against you guys. Can you talk about what went into that defensive game plan and how much you're going to rely on that defense over these final 2 games of the season?
Well, we executed our defensive game plan really, really well. Again, Ira Bowman and Mike Burgermeister did a great job with the scout. We do have a real defensive system, and we have a real offensive system. They're two completely different. They're two completely, like, I don't have an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, but we really do. And so I thought, look, our techniques and our system matched up really well tonight with Missouri. It's all been talked about matchups.
Nathan?
First best 3-point shooting game for you guys percentage-wise of the year. Obviously, Katie had almost half of those. What did you like about the looks you guys were getting?
We made 9. It felt like we made 19. It just felt like I can't believe it. We got open shots, and I'm not trying to get the guys to make tough contested shots. I'm just trying to get them to make open shots. I thought the ball moved really well. The ball didn't stick, and doesn't matter what we're running. When you're making shots, you're scoring points.
Rich?
Bruce, you talked about how tired the guys are. Are you worried at all, like, about 3 of these next 4 on the road, that could kind of become even more of an issue?
Well, we got Vanderbilt on the road, and then we got Kentucky on the road,
And
Ole Miss at home.
and Ole Miss is at home, and then we got at Alabama. So I got 3 more on the road. No, we'll take tomorrow off, and I think they'll be fine for Saturday. But they definitely were tired tonight.
Mike?
Coach, you guys have won a majority of the games where you shot 45% or better from the field. Tonight, you were north of that number. A lot of those short shots for Broome that weren't falling versus Alabama fell tonight. How do you create that consistency moving forward to close the season strong? We need Janai to be dominant on the inside. We had an advantage at the 5 position tonight. We did against Missouri. We won't necessarily at Vanderbilt quite as much. We were bigger. One of Missouri's very few weaknesses is rebounding. One of their very few weaknesses. They're a little undersized, and so we really emphasized going inside. We created some switches because they switch everything, and Dylan and Janai were able to get some matchups against some guards and rebound and score over them. You got to find different ways every night. We got to finish. Janai shoots 8 for 13, and he probably had 5 that you would have thought could have gone down. I mean, he had balls around the rim that he needs to be able to finish.
Last question, Ferg.
There's 6 of 9 from Katie and Zep combined. So how much better is this team and this offense when the 2 guards are producing like that?
Well, I mean, you look at the percentages. Obviously, their shooting percentages in conference have been low, but they both look great and they both got open shots, and it's you know, you make one or two of those at a couple of these other games, and we're in an even better spot. So it was good to see them, and they're putting the time in the gym, and it was great to see them get rewarded.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Bruce.
it.